What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Friday, February 19th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to the sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who are your favorite options on FanDuel for tonight's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Seth Curry, Jeremy Grant, Nikola Jokic, Cedi Osman, and Fred VanVleet on the outside looking in. Who will be the favorites, the top 5 plays for today? It is time to find out. First up, number 5, we're going straight back to him. Kemba Walker, point guard eligibility, 6,200, projected for 35.5. The goal is 44. He's in the optimal lineup 26% of the time. We know what we're getting here now. 32 minutes, about 1.1 fantasy points per minute, 21 points, 5.5 assists, 3.6 boards, a steal. Pace neutral spot against Atlanta, but a good defensive matchup at the very least. And again, I just expect Kemba Walker in a month to be more expensive than he is at 6,200. I don't know when that price is going to go up, but I would like to be there before that happens. I think a matchup against Atlanta is a really nice place to kind of get yourself right. Trae Young on the opposite side, not a great defender either. So if you're playing on FanDuel today, $6,200 Kemba Walker is a really nice value in that mid-tier. You can use him no matter what style of build you have. Feel like I just keep repeating old videos. Number 4, Michael Porter Jr., still 5,500 at the small forward spot. 31.6 fantasy point projection. Goal is 41. Optimal lineup 27% of the time. Gary Harris came back for a game. He's now out again. Who's the guy that I'm looking for? Will Barton, that's his name. Got it. Will Barton is questionable. If he plays, I don't think this matters all that much. I still think we see Michael Porter Jr. play about 30 minutes, just north of a fantasy point per minute. We're talking 16 points, 7 boards, one of basically everything else. Pace down spot against Cleveland, but with no Larry Nance and now no Andre Drummond, but the Drummond piece is a little bit less important. This defense isn't very good. Neither is the offense for that matter. It is going to be a slow spot, but this could be a really nice out. Like, Michael Porter Jr. needs something to give him a little bit of a boost, and I feel like he's the type of guy that's going to take advantage of playing teams that aren't very good. So at 5,500, you get a little bit of additional wiggle room over, having to pay up. I think that you can survive a problem, but at the very least, 13% of the time, he's going to hit his GPP goal. That's a pretty big number on this slate, especially at small forward. So I see no reason to avoid him. He's been chalk on previous slates. The price isn't going anywhere, but I still think he projects really well if he's getting 30 minutes. So $5,500 Michael Porter is easy to get to. Well, to the people that played him last night, sorry. I played a hell of a lot of them too, and it didn't go well. Small forward eligibility, 7,300 for Chris Middleton, 41-point projection. The goal's 47. Optimal lineup 27% of the time. We're talking big minutes, 35, 1.17 fantasy points per minute with no Drew Holiday on the floor, 26% usage, 23 points, almost 7 assists, almost 6 rebounds. Missed a couple open shots, little gimmies that could have got him started yesterday. Slight pace up spot against Oklahoma City. They're slowly getting their guys back, only without George Hill tonight. Horford is back in the lineup. SGA is back in the lineup. So maybe this one can stay a little bit closer and we have no worries about the run. But honestly, Chris Middleton at 7,300 is just underpriced. If Drew Holiday weren't with the team, Chris Middleton would just be an 8K player and we wouldn't even think twice about it. I expect this price to rise at maybe, but I don't want to miss out on a game where Chris Middleton goes nuts. 47.6 points as a GPP goal for Chris Middleton against Oklahoma City. That one is well within the sights. It happens 1 out of every 5 times we play this slate out. Don't overreact to yesterday's game. Load up on Chris Middleton. And stay straight in Milwaukee and get yourself some Giannis Antetokounmpo, my favorite pay-up option on the slate. Power forward eligibility, 11-3, projected for 60. The goal, 61. Optimal lineup, 30% of the time. Look, I like Giannis for the same reasons I like Chris Middleton. Slight pace-up spot against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, not very good. Giannis playing 36 minutes a game, basically 1.6 to 1.7 fantasy points per minute. He's the best fantasy player on a rate basis in the league. He's playing as many minutes as most starters can possibly play. We're talking 32 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2.5 stocks, and 11-3 is not all that problematic of a price tag on a 9-game slate. There's enough value to make it work, so I am paying for these points. He could really blow 60 out of the water if things get going. I have no problem getting Giannis. I want to pay up for him more than I want to pay up for any other player on this slate. Now, before we get to number one last reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, because that's the only place you're going to find me posting my updates. Normally, I'll post them, and 2 seconds later, we will get an update with somebody being ruled out. I'll be able to post an update again because I won't be on live before lock tonight. Go check out the strategy show with myself and Greg, though. Finally, this one's probably going to be a little controversial. Number one, Michael Carter-Williams. Point guard eligibility, only 4,500, projected for just short of 30 fantasy points. The goal's 38, and I have him in the optimal lineup 33% of the time. That's more than anybody else on this slate. He is now the starting point guard for the Magic. I'm giving him 30 minutes. 0.99 fantasy points per minute. So starting point guard, 30 minutes, basically a fantasy point per minute, but only 4,500. That is a very low price tag. Michael Carter-Williams is going to be more expensive in a week by default. 13 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, essentially. A steal and a half, close to it. The real big piece here, though, huge pace up spot against Golden State. They gained 3 possessions over their average. And Draymond Green is questionable. If Draymond Green is out, the Golden State Warriors are starting Eric Paschall at the 5. They have no defensive identity. This could be a really nice offensive matchup for MCW and the Magic. But even if Draymond is in, and that's where I have him right now, Michael Carter-Williams is my favorite play on the slate. It's really hard to get away from that combination of minutes and price tag. I could see him falling if we open up some really big news that we didn't see coming. But for where I'm standing right now, I think I'm going to be heavier on Michael Carter-Williams than most people, and I want him to be one of my most owned plays of the day, at least relative to salary and to public ownership. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Friday, February 19th. That's it for me. We made it through the work week. No contenders on Saturday or Sunday, but we will be back again Monday morning with another edition of the Contenders. Good luck today, guys, and have a good weekend.